Hey guys. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in and watched last week's video. I have gotten quite a few responses from people who also were having airport or airplane dreams. And so that's been shocking and fun to help kind of dig into those and process those with you guys. The same night that I posted, I had another dream, and I feel like it gave me kind of the next steps for those of us who do feel like we're in this in-between place. So I have my notes here, and I am excited to share them with you guys. I'm just gonna break down the main parts of the dream. So I walked into a gym, which I don't actually go to in real life. And gyms in dream language are places of training, discipline, and repetition. They're about consistency, about strengthening the weaker areas. And so there was a calendar there, and I was signing up for these specific classes consistently. So there were certain days, certain times across the board that I was plugging my name into. I'll tell you what the classes were in a little bit. But the key word that I got from the dream was discipline. And discipline, honestly, the word makes me bristle. And so when I woke up, I was like, ugh, what is it about that word that makes me want to resist it? And so I looked up the word, and the definition in a Western sense, it says a practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior with punishment or other undesired consequences for those failing to comply. So no wonder I have a negative reaction to that word. That doesn't sound fun. And also by nature, I just kind of have a little bit of a rebellious spirit. So hearing things like rules and codes and punishment obviously don't sit well with someone like me. Makes me want to push back. From a contemplative or more Eastern perspective, however, discipline is a steady, loving practice. It's repetition without force. It's returning to something again and again and again with gentleness. You do what you do not because of a fear of punishment, but because you love what it connects you to. You love what it's building in you. You love where it's taking you. So it's an entirely different way to approach whatever it is that you're doing. And after waking up, I tuned into a spiritual teacher that I like to listen to, and I kid you not, the very first sentence that came out of his mouth was, discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. So I woke up from that dream about discipline, and then I tuned into this guy, and he's talking about discipline, which is not something he normally talks about. And if you remember from last week's video, I had said, we're not where we were, but we're not quite where we want to be. And anyway, here he is saying that discipline is the bridge. And so what we are called to be disciplined with in this season really varies greatly from person to person. So this is another one of those moments where you have to just tune in and figure out what that is for you. And I think many of you probably actually already know it. So for some of you, discipline in this season looks like prioritizing rest and self-care, which I think to some people that might sound funny, but I actually think that those are harder, in this culture and society, to implement than kind of the outward production and checking things off of a list. For others, it's starting things you've been putting off. Again, this is really going to vary. In my dream, I know that I was called to be disciplined around practices like meditation, contemplation, breath work, consistent body movement. Those are 100% weak areas for me because I have a really hard time being still or making the time to do those things, even though I know they're so important. I kind of always have that mental list running of oh, well, I need to do dishes, or I need to do laundry, or I need to meal prep, or I need to pick up the 3,000 Legos that are in my living room, or whatever. And, when these things are done, then I will sit down and try to meditate or whatever. And that never happens. So, yes, okay. I think of equal importance to what we are called to be disciplined with in this season is how we're doing it. So I think, again, kind of from that Eastern perspective, can we approach discipline gently? Can we be gentle with ourselves in whatever it is we feel called to do? Can you move from saying like, oh, well, I have to, or I must do XYZ, to more of like, I'm choosing to do XYZ because it supports my well-being. I'm choosing to do XYZ because it's good for me, or, whatever your reason is. Travis Elliott, a power and yin yoga teacher who I love, one time I was doing one of his classes and we were in this complicated balance pose, and he was just so calmly saying, if you fall with joy. That's advanced yoga. And it surprised me because I think in my head, advanced yoga would be like doing all the poses, never falling, like just getting through it perfectly, right? And he followed that statement up with, perfectionism causes suffering. And we all know that, and yet so many of us kind of operate in and fall into that perfectionism trap really easily. Let's see. Okay, so with that perspective, so if you miss a day in what you feel called to do next, can you miss that day with joy and grace for yourself? Or do you punish yourself and beat yourself up? Can you learn to meet yourself, every part of yourself, including all your perceived imperfections, with compassion and love? Sometimes being compassionate with yourself actually looks like purposefully not doing the thing that you're, trying to be disciplined in, because discipline in the Western sense, it's all about like rigidity, right? There's no room for error, no wiggle room. Discipline, in again, the more Eastern sense, is like, hey, how am I feeling today? Am I not feeling so well? Do I need to rest? Like, am I sick? What do I need? It's about moving in your own rhythm and your own flow, being in tune with yourself. So again, it's not just what we're doing, it's how we're doing it. So remember, the gym symbolized repetition and consistency. So this isn't one of those moments where you make a decision and like, bam, there's these really big changes that happen instantly. This is where we cultivate, and tend to something. It's not meant to be rushed through, just like in the dream that I had last time. It's not about having a direct flight. This one is about kind of taking a little bit more time in it, honoring and embracing the season that you're in, and trying to approach it the best you can with compassion and grace for yourself. So, okay, that's it. That's it for today. Thank you again for watching. I would love to hear again, like, what resonates with you. And so please feel free to message me or post a comment. Thanks, guys. See you next time.